What's up, YouTube? My name is Jason, and this is my take. And I hope you guys had a great weekend. I'm back with another week of videos, and today we're gonna discuss the new Saba album, Few Good Things. Chicago rapper, producer, songwriter Saba is back with a brand new album. And this follows 2018's Care For Me, which was just such a moment in hip hop. For those who don't know, this album wasn't even supposed to be a thing. While Saba was working on an album, he got the news that his cousin was tragically killed, and he began to craft Care For Me. And on this album, he's telling his cousin's life through him. The whole time we're getting perspectives on growing up in Chicago, and even how he knows Saba himself, being family, but also their interactions. And it was a dark but beautiful album that really showcased Saba's abilities as a rapper and a producer. Honestly, easily one of the best albums of 2018, and it really made me a fan of him. Now, coming off this album, Saba's been very busy when it comes to features, when it comes to production. I know he produced on Mick Jenkins' last album that I reviewed on this channel. And I respect him so much just because of his grind, and being an independent artist and going and getting to the levels that he has is just really impressive and very inspiring as well. Going into this new album over here, Few Good Things, I just wanted to know what was on Saba's mind. And I wanted to go into this thing fresh. I know he dropped 2 or 3 singles, but I didn't even listen to them. I just wanted to take this album in fully and just have that full listening experience. And once again, Saba delivers. Now on these 14 tracks, we see Saba just diving into his personal life and just everything that's going on with him, growing up in Chicago in a tough neighborhood, just talking about being a black man and the struggles as well, coupled with being in Chicago. And he does it over just some of the most beautiful production I've heard this year. He plays with so many different flows and did a lot more singing on this album that came out really well. And while I was excited going into this album, I can't lie, I was a little nervous just off the greatness of Care For Me. But I was wrong to even be nervous, because Saba on this album has proven why he's one of the best artists in hip hop, in my opinion. So let's not even waste any time, and let's just dive into highlights on here, because there are so many. The opener, Free Samples, is just a beautiful intro. I love when songs like kind of have those little sounds of nature, like birds chirping or the wind blowing, and it kind of felt like Saba was just putting us in like Chicago, and we're just walking around. It's just such a smooth way to open the album. The song Survivor's Guilt featuring Herbo was an absolute banger. You know, we're used to Saba on coming in with a more chill and smooth flow, but he came in aggressive, and I loved every second of it. Herbo also had a great verse. He was rapping kind of off kilter, a little off beat, but it really worked. And I love when that happens, when something sounds like it's not supposed to work, but it actually does. Another song I enjoyed was Come My Way, that features Krayzie Bone of Bone Thugs and Harmony. And we get many lines on this song from Saba where he's just talking about a typical day in Chicago for him when he was a child, you know, growing up, playing basketball with his friends. The background vocals with this instrumental were perfect, and Saba's singing on the hook was executed beautifully. I also enjoyed Krayzie Bone's fast, choppy flow on this song. Him and Saba's flows were kind of similar, but they both were done well. I love how the hi-hats were driving the song A Simpler Time that features Mereba. I thought Saba's singing was a little odd. It oddly worked on this song. And as expected, Mereba delivers beautiful vocals on the tail end of the track. I thought the song Soldier featuring Pivot Gang was a pretty powerful cut. It's a song that sees Saba discussing fatherhood and his fears in that, specifically not being around because of the trend of black men dying rapidly. And I thought it was really interesting how Saba was comparing this to being a soldier, being at war, and that when you kind of go off to war, you may not return the same person, or may not even return at all. Saba's rapping really stuck out to me on this song because he played with like 3 or 4 different flows, and he was really going off. I think my favorite song on the entire project is the song If I Had a Dollar that features Benjamin Earl Turner. And it's super relatable as Saba talks about like how much money he would have if he failed. And it's super relatable because we all, in our pursuit of perfection and success, we fail so many times. It's natural, it's inevitable. But if we had, money for the number of times we failed or we missed, like we would be wealthy without question. I love this line by Saba as well, where he says, "I can't even count all the shots I missed." That Nick Anderson, you'll be scared to shoot, that references Nick Anderson back in the 90s. I can't remember what year when they faced the Bulls in the playoffs, and Nick Anderson, one of the best free throw shooters in the league, I think, just missed so many free throw shots at the end of the game that could have won them the game and sent them to the NBA Finals, I believe. I can't remember. Also enjoyed Benjamin Earl Turner's verse on this song, as well as his cadence. Make Believe featuring Fousheé is easily one of the smoothest tracks on the album. I enjoyed Saba's reflection on just, thinking about where he came from and the fact that he was actually able to make it to where he is given the circumstances. There was such a beautiful string section on the tail end of this song that leads into a very nice Fousheé verse. The song 2012 just felt like he was sitting watching a peaceful sunset. It was just such a beautiful sounding track. We get two verses from Saba where he's reflecting on where he was in 2012. The first verse being about a girl that he was really close with and developed feelings for, but the feelings weren't mutual. And a very interesting second verse where Saba talks about getting into music and recording and finding a studio to lock in. But I thought it was really interesting because he talks about how that place was just a safe spot to be, because if they'd been outside or anywhere else, who knows if they'd even be here, just given how dangerous the neighborhoods were. The outro and title track, A Few Good Things, that features Black Thought and Eryn Kane, also had that sunset feeling. Like, this album had a very smooth ending. We get quite a bit of beat transitions on this song. It's just about 7 minutes. But one that goes into a Black Thought verse where he lyrically dominates, as he always does. We then get another transition into a more guitar-led section that sees Saba closing us out. Now, honestly, I have to applaud his breath control in this section, as well as other points in the album. To be able to fit so many words in there at the speed that he does without losing his breath is a true skill. Now listen, there aren't really that many bad moments to speak on, honestly. Now, while I like the song Still that features Smino and Black, especially Smino's performance at the end of the song, Black's hook, it just really bored me. Like, I wanted more out of him. He has a great voice, but sometimes he can come off very boring. I think my least favorite song was probably One Way or Every Man on a Budget. Honestly, compared to a lot of other songs in the track list, it just felt empty. And Saba's performance was also a little underwhelming. But other than that, Saba once again comes through with beautiful production and amazing performances. This guy's a gift for just painting pictures and conveying his thoughts. And it's always intriguing and entertaining. He always lays it all out and is never afraid to open up and be vulnerable. Now, while Care For Me is such a memorable album in Saba's catalog, his lack of complacency allowed him to deliver yet another amazing project. And once again, like I said, he's showing why, in my opinion, he's one of the best artists in hip hop, especially being an independent artist. It's just so impressive seeing what he's doing. Of course, I can't wait to see what he does next. Always looking forward to what he does. So I'm gonna give this album a 9 out of 10. So what'd you guys think of this new Saba album? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What were your favorite tracks? Let's have a discussion down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Got more videos coming. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I'm Jason. This has been my take, and I'll see you guys next time.